How them are running again? How are going out with a curfew? A police out there?
Working the door in London's clubland is no easy number. You have to know how to handle yourself. This can be a rough job. It's no place for faint hearts. No place, some might say, for the ladies. But they'd be wrong.
When the girl hit me, I just held her and shook her.
If you're frightened, don't do the job because you won't be able to handle it.
Bear in mind that I am slightly stronger than you, and if I do hit you, it will hurt a lot more than you hitting me.
Nicki Dawes is 25. She took up boxing in her early 20s, and 2 years ago, she was offered her first job as a door supervisor at a club in South London. So you're standing in line at your favourite nightclub, ready to be faced with a big 6'4" muscly male bouncer. Next thing you know, you're staring straight at a 5'2", 9 stone nothing, and she's a lady. What kind of punch is that gonna pack? She may not be huge, but her trainer, Dave John, reckons anyone who underestimates Nicki would live to regret it.
She can do damage because they're not expecting that, whereas the big lumbering guy with a bald head, you know, people know where that's coming from. So I think, yeah, Nicki can do a good thing.
Are you a little bit scared of her?
I wouldn't necessarily be scared of her, but because she has the authority and the badge, you know, that itself commands a little bit of respect, you know.
It's not as difficult as people like to make out, or people think even. It's just about your ability to communicate with people and talk them down if they're upset and things like that.
While Nicki plays down the dangers of her job, her family are not nearly as convinced.
I just think it's a dangerous job, even for men, never alone in women. So I just don't really approve of it.
Well, I'm not happy about it, but I can't do anything because that's what she wants to do.
Brixton comes to life by night. It has one of the liveliest club scenes in the capital, but that's also matched by one of the highest rates of violent crime. And this is where Nicki works. It's Saturday night, it's 11:30 and things are pretty busy, but it's going to be the start of a really long night for Nicki. And already, she's got her hands full.
In some venues, it's regarded as being a real advantage if you've got women to deal with women. Any woman working the door has to be prepared to deal with violence. You know, they're not there as women, they're there as door staff, and they're part of a door staff team. In Brixton, I learned that the team at Southside, including Nicki, were rushed by a bunch of lads just last week.
A couple of them decided to get a bit violent and try and force their ways through. We held them off as best we could, the three of us. But yeah, obviously 15 people are stronger than 3, so yeah, they got in and we just called the police. There wasn't much we could do.
I take it there's no real danger of them coming back, or is it quite possible that they might come back tonight?
They're not people that we see on a regular basis, so the chance of them coming back is pretty slim.
In 2 years of doing this job, Nicki hasn't been hurt, but I meet up with a group of senior female door staff, including grandmother Carol Seaby, who've seen it all over the years.
I've had a knife pulled on me in Brixton.
What happened there?
Oh, it was just found some drugs on her, and out come the knife. I just went like that, and luckily, I mean, it probably was just luck, that I actually got her arm and pushed her back, so she dropped it, and she just did a runner.
Females will bring in weapons for their partners. They will bring in drugs. Men are not allowed to search them. They can only go as far as their handbags. We have a responsibility to the care of all females that come through that door, and particularly vulnerable females.
And no one's more vulnerable than a drunk.
Went to a party. I danced all night.
In binge drinking Britain, modern girls just want to have fun. Sometimes though, as this CCTV footage shows all too clearly, it's too much fun, and clubs are having to hire more female staff to deal with the consequences.
Women are drinking as much as men at the moment. Oh, we'd like to think so anyway.
What would you rather intervene in, 2 men fighting or 2 women?
Women could be the worst because they like taking off their high heel shoes. A woman would be swinging those around, and you can split up a woman and they'd still be kicking and screaming and grabbing whatever.
With one big security firm in London now reporting a third of their staff are female, doorkeepers like Nicki are becoming an increasingly familiar sight. But in Brixton, some of the sisters aren't quite so keen on other girls protecting them.
Men bouncers sometimes just kind of turn a blind eye to most ladies and just let them walk through, but female bouncers kind of will stop you and be a bit more strict.
We need something with your date of birth. If it had your date of birth form, we could swing it, but it doesn't, so it can't work. Whatever she's doing, we do. Sorry, babes.
Girls are different to men. Men, you can try and blag it, but girls, they won't have it.
The night is wearing on and Nicki has just spotted something worrying.
See, I'm not liking the way they're hooding themselves up, you know, I'm not feeling it at all.
The club has a clearly stated dress code against hoodies, but despite this, a number of hooded lads are now circling the entrance menacingly.
Hey, fire exit, fire exit, fire exit! Rick, come to the door, come to the door. They're at that door there.
Watch them, they're rushing the door in.
There's a gang of lads behind me. They can't get into the club because they're not wearing the right gear, so they took matters into their own hands and snuck out round the back. Nicki spotted this and managed to get them away, but they're still hanging around and the mood's changed somewhat outside the bar.
I'm okay. Like I said, the likelihood is that it's not going to become a violent situation.
But unfortunately, on this occasion, Nicki's wrong. Having failed to sneak in through the side door, the lads now mount a full assault on the front entrance.
Stop, man, stop!
Nicki is the only girl in the fray, and easily the smallest.
Guys, seriously, babe, come on, man.
No, come in, man.
Guys, you haven't even got the right dress code. No hoodies, man. Leo!
Thanks to the security, the people inside the club are still unaware of the drama unfolding outside.
It's gonna get ugly, you know, big man. Are you saying, big man?
Push the door behind you, bruv.
Push the door. I don't want to get
boys, back off now, yeah? Back off.
No. You touch me, bro. What?
For a few heart-thumping minutes, Nicki's pinned against the door as fists fly all around her, but the line holds. Eventually, with the real possibility the troublemakers will smash their way in, the manager's forced to call the cops. The police chased them up the road and a kind of order's restored. When I could see what was going on from inside the club, you suddenly seemed very small compared to all these big men around you. Did you feel particularly vulnerable?
Only when one of them said, I know you're a female, but I'll fight you as well. Which did kind of take me by surprise. But, I mean, this is what I'm here to do. It's what I'm getting paid for. So if that's what it comes to, then I'm prepared.
But surely no job's worth that. Surely.
It doesn't happen often, so, when it does happen, it's a little bit exciting when I go home, phone my friends and say, hey, guess what happened tonight?
But the night isn't over. Shortly after we leave, there's more trouble. A group of troublemakers threaten to bottle the door staff. Windows are smashed and terrified punters hit the floor as glass showers the inside of the club. It may have been a bad night at the office for Nicki, but the lady's not for turning. I suspect I know the answer to this, Nicki, but will you be back next Saturday night?
I'll be back on Friday and Saturday.